Welcome to Ash Talks, featuring blogs by Ashmeet Sehgal from ashmeetsehgal.com. In today's deep dive, we're exploring how to create a viral Instagram filter, offering insights and reflections. I love these deep dives into the creator world. It's so fascinating to see how people turn ideas into reality, especially the ever-evolving landscape of social media.
Absolutely, and Ashmeet's journey is a great example of that. He's a full-stack software engineer who, during the COVID-19 lockdown, decided to explore the world of AR filters on Instagram. What's interesting is that his motivation wasn't fame or fortune, it was connection. He wanted to create something engaging and fun for people during a time when we were all feeling pretty isolated.
That's really cool. So many people turn to creative outlets during lockdown, but it's not every day you see someone go from coding to creating a viral Instagram filter. What I find interesting is that Ashmeet specifically chose Bollywood as his theme. It wasn't just a random choice, was it?
Not at all. Ashmeet was strategic. He knew Bollywood held a special place in the hearts of many Indians, with its vibrant colors, iconic dance moves, and memorable dialogues. It's a cultural phenomenon that evokes a sense of nostalgia and shared experience, which is incredibly powerful when it comes to connecting with an audience.
So he taps into this cultural powerhouse. But how does he actually make it engaging? I mean, just slapping a Bollywood image on a filter doesn't guarantee virality.
Right. He needed to add a layer of interactivity, something that would make people want to share it with their friends. That's where the Bollywood gibberish concept came in. It's a game where the filter overlays a playing card on your head. With a Bollywood movie title or famous dialogue written in gibberish, you have 10 seconds to decipher it.
Ooh, I like that. It's simple but clever. It plays on that shared cultural knowledge while also adding a challenge. Did he mention anything about the actual development process? I imagine building an AR filter isn't exactly a walk in the park, especially if you're new to it.
You're right, Ashmeet talks about facing several hurdles, particularly with Instagram's content guidelines. The platform is very strict about using copyrighted material, which is obviously a huge consideration when you're dealing with Bollywood. He mentions having to get creative with his designs to avoid using any direct logos or copyrighted images.
Oh, that makes sense. So he's got this great idea. He's working within the technical constraints of AR, and he's navigating these content guidelines. It sounds like a pretty intense learning curve. I'm curious, did he mention any specific challenges that really stuck out?
One that comes to mind is dealing with Instagram's approval process. After designing the filter, he had to submit it for review, and there was always the possibility of rejection. Ashmeet talks about the anxiety of waiting for feedback, knowing that all his hard work could potentially be scrapped if it didn't meet Instagram's standards.
That must have been nerve-wracking. It's like submitting your final exam and having no idea if you'll pass or fail. Did he share how long the approval process took?
He mentioned it typically took between 48 to 72 hours, which probably felt like an eternity given the anticipation. He emphasizes the importance of patience and persistence throughout this phase.
That's a valuable lesson right there. You can have the most brilliant idea, but sometimes it's the ability to weather those moments of uncertainty. That really makes the difference. So he finally gets through the approval process. What happens next?
Well, the filter goes live and then crickets. At least that's what Ashmeet thought at first. He checked his analytics in Spark AR Studio, which, by the way, is the software you use to actually build these filters, and there were barely any impressions.
Oh, no. That's a creator's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
All that work, and then it just kind of disappears into the void.
Exactly. But then something interesting happened. Ashmeet gets a call from a friend asking if he created a Bollywood filter. Apparently, it was popping up everywhere on their feed. He refreshes his analytics, and boom, 2 million impressions in just 3 days.
Wow. Talk about a turnaround. That's incredible. But what triggered that sudden surge? Was it just pure luck, or was there something more at play?
Ashmeet attributes it to a combination of factors. First, a few influential Instagram accounts, including some stand-up comedians, started using his filter and sharing it with their followers. That gave it a huge visibility boost.
So a little bit of influencer marketing without even trying. That's amazing. But there must have been something about the filter itself that resonated with people, right? I mean, people share things that they find fun and engaging, not just because someone they follow used it.
Absolutely. The filter's simplicity and humor played a big role. Remember, it's not just a visual filter, it's a game. And a pretty funny one at that. People were sharing their attempts at deciphering the gibberish, tagging their friends and challenging each other to beat their scores. It created a sense of playful competition and community.
That's so cool. It's like those viral dance challenges or photo trends that take over the internet. People love participating in something that feels shared and lighthearted, especially during tough times. And what's really interesting is that Ashmeet talks about the filter's impact extending beyond the screen.
Yes. He mentions how the filter became a conversation starter among friends and family. People were discussing their favorite Bollywood movies, reminiscing about iconic scenes, and even using the gibberish phrases in their everyday conversations. It sparked a sense of connection and shared cultural experience, which was particularly meaningful given the social isolation many were feeling during lockdown.
That's such a beautiful outcome. It's like this little piece of technology created a ripple effect of joy and connection that spread throughout people's lives.
And it reinforces the power of tapping into shared cultural passions. Bollywood is more than just entertainment. It's a cultural touchstone that evokes a sense of identity and belonging for many people.
It's a great reminder for anyone looking to create something that resonates with a wide audience. Think about what cultural elements or shared experiences you can leverage to create that sense of connection. But beyond the virality and cultural impact, I'm curious about the personal lessons Ashmeet took away from this experience.
He highlights a few key takeaways. One is the importance of perseverance. He faced numerous challenges throughout the process, from technical hurdles to navigating Instagram's guidelines. But he didn't give up. He kept iterating, adapting, and pushing forward until he achieved his goal.
That's so crucial in any creative endeavor. There are always going to be roadblocks, moments of doubt, and unexpected challenges. It's the ability to keep going, to learn from those setbacks, that ultimately leads to success.
Exactly, and it's not just about brute force perseverance, it's about being smart about it. Ashmeet talks about the importance of being adaptable and willing to pivot when necessary. For example, when his initial designs were rejected due to copyright issues, he didn't get discouraged. He found creative workarounds, tweaking his designs to comply with the guidelines without compromising his vision.
It's like that saying, the obstacle is the path. Sometimes the limitations we face force us to think outside the box and come up with even better solutions. It sounds like Ashmeet really embraced that philosophy.
He did, and he also emphasizes the importance of staying true to your initial intention. Remember, his goal wasn't fame or fortune, it was connection. And by focusing on that core intention, he was able to create something that genuinely resonated with people.
It's a great reminder that sometimes the most impactful creations come from a place of genuine desire to share something meaningful with the world. And that's something we can all take inspiration from, whether we're aspiring creators or simply looking to bring more joy and connection into our own lives.
Well said, and speaking of inspiration, Ashmeet's blog is a treasure trove of insights and reflections on his creative journey. He dives deep into the technical aspects of creating AR filters, shares practical tips for navigating Instagram's guidelines, and offers thoughtful reflections on the power of creativity and connection.
It's like a behind-the-scenes look at the creator's mind, and I'm sure our listeners would find it incredibly valuable.
Absolutely, and who knows, maybe Ashmeet's story will spark an idea in one of our listeners. Maybe they have a passion or a skill that they've been wanting to share with the world.
That's the beauty of these deep dives. They not only provide valuable insights, but they also ignite that spark of possibility within us.
It makes you wonder, what seemingly simple idea or passion could you turn into? Something that connects with a large audience. That's something I'd encourage everyone listening to ponder.
It's inspiring to think about the potential we all have to make a difference. Ashmeet's story is a testament to that. He didn't have a massive team or a huge budget, just a spark of an idea, a willingness to learn, and a passion for connecting with others.
And he generously shares that knowledge and experience on his blog, ashmeetsagal.com. It's a fantastic resource for anyone interested in the world of tech creativity and personal growth.
I love that he's paying it forward, inspiring others to pursue their own passions and make their own mark on the world. It's a reminder that we all have something unique to offer, and sometimes all it takes is that first step to unlock our potential.
Exactly. Ashmeet's journey is a powerful example of what can happen when we combine creativity, perseverance, and a genuine desire to connect with others.
It's been such a fascinating deep dive into Ashmeet's world. I feel like I've learned so much about the creative process, the power of social media, and the importance of staying true to your vision.
I agree. It's been a pleasure exploring Ashmeet's story with you. Hopefully, it's left our listeners feeling inspired and empowered to pursue their own creative endeavors.
Absolutely. So to wrap things up, if you're looking for a dose of inspiration, be sure to check out Ashmeet's blog on ashmeetsagal.com. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to create something that sparks joy and connection around the world.
Thanks for listening. Visit ashmeetsagal.com for more blogs and share this deep dive to inspire others. Until next time, stay inspired.